Richie. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. I got to get coffee. So update, coffee. Good morning, IBCC shop. Megahertz, what's up? How are you? I'm sorry I wasn't able to stay into your show. I finally finished all the shipping, and as soon as this is done, I gotta drop everything off at the post office. Never again. Never again. I'm going to actually talk about shipping adjustments in a second, because people did ask what happened with, because at least it's not, I know, it's just down the road, thank goodness. Add water. Why is it always that when I want to make a coffee, I need to add water? Oh, you've slept like a baby? I can't remember the last time I was able to sleep like a baby. Let me know how you do it, because I don't know how that's done. I really don't. Sorry. Gotta get some coffee into me. Oh, dark and quiet area here. Oh, it's not. It's very quiet here. But I'm constantly no pets, no spouse. I need a puppy at my feed. Good morning, the Suburban Bish. How are you? Good morning, Magnus by Marika, and everyone else is here. Carrie, good morning. I had an awesome assistant named Carrie. She was like the best thing ever. Like, seriously, the woman was a superstar. So I love anybody named Carrie, because she was amazing. Carrie, if you're out there, you were amazing. And Peggy also amazing. But Carrie was with me for longer, so she gets preferential treatment. Good morning, everyone. How many packages do I have? So Megahertz last Tuesday show. I know it's a week. It's bad. Last Tuesday show, 71 items sold. All of them like breakables. So, and then I had 50,000 things to do. And, but my shipping person was able to help me yesterday. So we just like blasted through and got all those items, wrapped up, and then found the bright boxes for them. And yeah, and then I had to like rearrange all the boxes and organize things and try to make the boxes as small as possible. Is always the funnest, most fun part of the experience is doing the box reduction joy. So there's like a wide variety of boxes that have been used for this, but no diaper boxes this time. But so I am going to start doing a campaign on my own personally of constantly messaging whatnot, asking them to increase Canada's size for default box from 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters to at least 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, which for Americans is 12 inches, which is what you have, because it's ridiculous that I'm paying all these shipping adjustments for less weight. I never went over my weight on anything, and I still, on small packages, was still having some sort of shipping adjustment. That seems cashews to me when the price isn't. If I did it as a custom shipping profile, it wouldn't. Hello, East Coast Vintage Treasures. How are you? Sam Pop, good morning. East Ender Resales, good morning. Thank you, Megahertz. Let me mod you. Boop. There you go. Yeah, but it took me a week. Normally, it wouldn't have taken me a week. The walk-in closet, Tiff Fisher. Hello, everyone. Hello, Yard Yeller. Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh, everyone's coming in. The most fun is after the show, and to your surprise, you look around your place and you see all those items you need to pack. Yeah. It's like, oh gosh. Now what? Good morning, Donna. Absolute Flipping Deals. Drip Locker. So if I do another big show like that, I'm going to have to basically have people hired to do shipping the next day. Like, it's going to have to be like a 2-day event. One day is the selling and the other day is the shipping. Because and I don't sleep well when I haven't finished my shipping. So I've had a week of extra bad sleep, because my sleep is normally bad, but extra bad because I kept waking up with existential dread. Is the best way to describe it. Anxiety. Okay, I got my coffee. Loki is starting to run away with the cords, so sorry. Hang on a second. Loki, how have you managed to do this, sweetheart? You've managed to. ER is now. Can you let go of ER for a second? Thank you. ER was wrapped around the cord. Yes, he's a little beat up. Go play with your ER. Okay, Drip Locker, good morning. Good morning. Franchise. Niche, or is it Sneesh? Big Canada, good morning. Good morning, Forget Me Not Vintage, and good morning, everybody else that I've missed. I apologize. Okay, stop. Mommy's busy. Go outside. Go outside and ask Romeo to show you his big stick. That's not a euphemism for something. Oh, thank you. I actually, the funny thing is it's already covered in dog hair, and I purposely put it up somewhere high that was like away from all the dog hair. I thrifted it, of course. I thrift, almost all of my clothes are thrifted or bought on Whatnot, which is thrifting too. So, no, go see Romeo. Go outside and see Romeo. That's a good boy. So I am super jealous of all you clothing sellers, because your shipping is so much easier. I went through an entire box and then some of bubble wrap. So that's like 150 feet of bubble wrap, plus wrap like packing paper on top of that. Half a box of packing paper. So that's like 60 sheets of packing paper. So it's not cheap to ship breakable things. I think I'm gonna have to divest of all of my breakable stuff. Yes, I do thrift some packaging material, but for like bubble wrap, I'm very particular. I want my bubbles to be perfect. But I do make sure that the way that I wrap my bubble wrap doesn't involve any tape that's going to cause, so it's only like masking tape or a sticker. And then I just, I also use saran wrap to wrap it. Oh, thank you, Angie. So I do multiple layers. So you get like a layer or two of paper, and then you get bubble wrap, and then there's another layer of paper on top of that sometimes too. Yeah. Yeah. My bubbly personality is free. I wish bubble wrap was free. I really want a bubble wrap machine, but the only bubble wrap machines that I've found are like the kind that do this size. And I don't know. So I'm still considering getting a bubble wrap machine, but I also have found that I've looked at the prices, and right now where I can source the plastic for the bubble wrap machine to make the bubbles is the same price, or only just a little bit less after shipping, than me just buying bubble wrap. So usually I buy bubble wrap in 4-packs off of, Amazon, but off of Amazon in these 4-packs whenever they go on sale. So usually that's what I do, but in a pinch I go to U-Haul and I buy their small bubble wrap, and it's the cheapest in the area. Second cheapest is Staples in my area. And then third cheapest is Canadian Tire. Uline has pillow machines and you can adjust the sizes. Yeah, but it's this plastic, this pre-made plastic that creates these, that I need cheap. So if you know somewhere, hook a girl up. I have checked Uline, but because of where I live on Forget Me Not Vintage, it is so expensive to ship to me. Because they all send it by like Campar, so I'd have to organize a day to actually drive all the way to Uline to pick it up to save the money. Yeah, because their shipping prices are insane, and it's about 3-hour drive for me to get to their location, and I'd have to go near Toronto. Hey, Reptile Guy, Canada doesn't have Bubble Boy. I know in the US, Bubble Boy is super cheap, or it's inexpensive. Although some people say they don't like Bubble Boy's bubbles. So I don't know. I just yeah. The price for, but Uline is kind of like our box and anything to do with industry. That's the big one most people use. Yeah, they also charge a pickup fee. They do. Uline also charges a pickup fee, even though you'd think it'd be saving, but I guess they have to have staff to stand there and wait. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Angela. Ashley, how are you, hon? Who else came in? Trenton, good morning. Uncle Tub Time. Uncle Tub Time. Uncle Tub Time. I got that. It just took me a minute. Sorry. Uncle Tub. I'm like, Uncle Kailash. Good morning. How are you? I'm doing good. Okay. Thank you, Donna. You're awesome. You're an amazing person. Yeah, I'll have to organize it. But right now, you just signed up for the raid train. Yay! Yes, the True North Strong raid train is on the 10th, which is like what? Oh God, when is that? 4th. This is the 4th, so 6 days from now. So next Monday. Yep, Saturday. Yep. So next Monday is the True North Strong raid train. If you want to sign up, do so because it's going to be fun. And sign up information is in my show notes. And if you just want a half hour instead of an hour, just message me and I'll split up an hour for you. No problem. Forget Me Not Vintage says, I found a local biz that orders from Uline and added my bubble wrap to their business order. Oh, which had low shipping fees. That's smart. I don't know anybody around here. Is there going to be a special graphic? Yes. If you go to the sign up form and you just hit read more, then there is a link to the file. Loki, are you torturing Trump again? Yeah, he's got his Trumpty Dumpty. So it's in the sign up. So you just have to hit read more and it's at the bottom. It's a very long, go to your local Shoppers Drug Mart. They have lots. I'm not selling anything today, Sam Pop. No, this is a non-selling day. Your girl is exhausted from shipping. He's in the background. You can't see it, but he's currently torturing the Humpty Trumpty. That's what it's called. It's called the Humpty Trumpty. Yes, and Angie's This and That has a family fashion raid train on the 16th of the month. Only a few spots have signed up for. Lots of spots available. If not, will be canceled until after Christmas. Yeah. What sellers are you looking for? Any Kailash, they just have to be Canadian sellers. That's our only thing. It's a Canadian, it's like probably the only official Canada only raid train, but it's just to kind of keep our spirits up. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna give you some numbers of like so I had 13 packages to ship out. Sorry, I had to go get the piece of paper because I forgot that in my quest to get coffee. I forgot to stop there. Good morning, Pickles. Okay, so this is for Canadians, really, this info here. So I had 13. Jesus, Loki, is everyone okay? You can sue Loki. He doesn't have a lawyer yet, but I'll get him one. Can you just settle? Go outside and play with Romeo. I left the door open on purpose. Okay, sorry, Dee. Good morning. Okay, so I had one package that was 16 cents of a shipping adjustment. Whatnot did not charge me for that. So I had $2.14, and all of my weights were under. I used Whatnot's shipping profiles. They didn't have a custom shipping profile. I just increased my weights. And here's the thing. Only when I would like double my weight did I come close to avoiding a shipping adjustment. So if my weights were just higher but not double of what, then I had a shipping adjustment. So I had like a $2.14 shipping adjustment, a $2.32. Loki, can you stop? $3.41, $3.61, $3.99, and that was only going into Toronto. $2.85 and $6.26, which was the most painful. $6.26. I'm okay. I'm surviving. I just, yeah, Forget Me Not Vintage says, I honestly don't understand the shipping adjustments. I adjusted the size by 2 centimeters and lowered the weight, still got charged $4. Yeah. So I ended up, I had eight adjustments out of 13. Again, the big boxes, because my box sizes, the largest box dimensions were 51 by 40 by 18. And the one box where it was 51 by 40 by 18, but I only had 200 ounces in instead of 300 ounces. That one was 0. The other one was the same size, but 155 ounces, going to approximately the same distance. And it was only 30 to 50 ounces off. It was a $2.85 charge. So my lesson here is that doubling the weight. So like I had one box, it was 37 by 36 by 20 centimeters. And I entered in 105 ounces, and the original weight was 202. That one was a 0. So when you're close to double your weight, then it looks like you can avoid, you can possibly avoid having a shipping adjustment. But that's just cray. I think Leah got her local pickup straightened out. I think so. It basically showed it as completed all of a sudden, so it looks like it. But she's got the stuff, and that's all I care about. I just care that she's got the stuff. But yeah, it didn't ask me to ship to her, so I think it got figured out. But so yeah, out of 13 packages, 8 of them had adjustments, even though my weights were way higher. But unless I doubled the weight, the shipped weight, unless I doubled the weight, I was getting a shipping adjustment. Still in my cart. She sent me the pickup info. I wasn't going to enter it. Forget Me Not Vintage says, has anyone heard of Canadian sellers telling U.S. buyers to choose local pickup and they will get the package to them duty free? Yes, I have heard that Canadian sellers are doing that. That is against terms of service. If they get reported, I mean, first of all, there is no guarantees for that U.S. buyer that their package is ever going to get to them. If there's any problems with what's inside or it's damaged, they can't go to Whatnot and complain because they've already said that they got the item because they've sent in the pickup information. And as well, you can't, it's illegal to say this is a gift over and over again. If somebody's a big seller in Canada and they're shipping so much to the US and they say this is a gift over and over and over again, they're going to get caught and they're going to get significant fines. So that's the only way to get it across the border duty free is to lie. And lying is bad, especially when you're dealing with the government. So don't do it unless you have to. No, don't do it. Don't do it on Whatnot. That's for sure. So, yes, I've heard, Forget Me Not Vintage, that Canadian sellers are doing that, and nobody copy them because Whatnot's going to start cracking down, and when they crack down, you'll get caught in it too. And just because other sellers are doing it, just because other kids are on that seesaw and they're sticking their fingers in that spot in the seesaw, doesn't mean that you should. That's what they used to do in my school. They used to do this game of try to move your fingers before the seesaw comes down. Yeah. Not a fun game if you lose. Megahertz says, fun fact, I had a customer yesterday that usually is it's $15 for them to start. I had my price on double the weight and it seemed like it was $9 for. does it make this make sense? Make this make sense. I like the dear Whatnot. I love yous. I love yous. But this shipping, the 13 centimeter thing, has got to go. It's got to go. So, starting when I get a chance to sit down and write a calm, reasonable, and professional message, I shall send such a calm, reasonable, and professional message. Right now, I'm frustrated, so that would not be good. Forget Me Not Fincher says, I was in a show the other day and the seller was saying it on repeat. I was so confused. Like, yeah, that should be like report. Because it's like it's against the law, let alone against terms of service. They are promising to break the law live on Whatnot, which builds a reputation that Whatnot sellers will do things against the law. I personally don't want Whatnot to be known for that. I don't want to say, hey, yeah, I sell on Whatnot, and people be like, oh, I've heard about them. You must be one of those people that breaks the law. That like will lie and send stuff through the post and say that it's a gift. Like, and as if the American government can't figure that out and won't catch you at some point. As if. I mean, if you have no plans on going into the States ever again in your lifetime, then, have at it. But all of your items that you ship after you get caught will all get refused, even if they're legit. Even if you legit pay all the fees, they'll get refused. Your company name and your address will be flagged by the system. And anytime a package comes through into the United States of America, it will be flagged and pulled aside. They have a database. They got lots of databases. They love their databases, as we do. Maples, I went by making drawings and making this the main. Okay. I wouldn't. Okay. I'm not gonna read that one out. Yeah, I know. Forget Me Not Ventures that you weren't gonna do it. I was just kind of speaking to the world out there. I know you. You're never gonna do something like that. Rebecca's Relic says, what's up with paying someone to tip? Tell me more. Oh, paying someone a tip in order to pay for the shipping, you mean? Is that what they're trying to do? Seesaws are illegal now? I don't know. I used to love being on the seesaw. I did not love the game that they used to play. Crazy Beat Lady says, what happens when the U.S. customer does not pay UPS charges with the tariffs and brokerage fees? So in some cases, the package will get returned to you, but some people are getting bills from UPS for that, and Whatnot has reimbursed some people for those bills from UPS. But going forward, it looks like it's just going to end up getting destroyed or sent through into some warehouse or something. So if they don't pay it, you're still going to get your payout from Whatnot, because they refused it, not for any legitimate reason. They shouldn't get a refund. Whatnot should not be refunding people for refusing to pay the UPS charges when Whatnot has big banners that like it literally warns you, and then there's like another banner up above. Oh God, Absolute Flipping Deal says someone was selling new $600 Cartier watches that were clearly fake for $99 start. They got reported, and an hour later we're back with a different name. Yeah, so they would probably also be covering up their IP address too, because Whatnot does flag IP addresses, so you can't just try and do an end run by like, oh, I'm suspended, but I'll just do it on someone else's name. They do need to have more. They need to bring back a time factor in how long it takes for you to get approved, so that people don't do that. I mean, some people just create multiple seller accounts in order to get around that, and then they use one and then they'll use the other up and they'll keep using them up, but it's uncool and not good for the reputations. Crazy Bee Lady, you're not blocked. I've only seen one question so far. I've seen one question. It just takes me time to get there. Hopefully I've gotten to it and you've been able to hear me. Bye, Dave. Have a great day. Do good things. Oh, no, don't say sorry. It's all good. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, it takes me a while to catch up. Does Whatnot? No. Puppeteer Canada Whatnot does not, unfortunately, up the size of the boxes if multiple items are purchased, which is why I will be writing a friendly, professional, calm message to Whatnot saying that we need to go back to 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter boxes at minimum, because these shipping adjustments are ridiculous. So my recommendation is they should have the same boxes that Canada Post sells. Oh, like do flat rate? Flat rate Canada Post is not the dimensions. Yeah. I mean, I guess if Canada Post had a proper flat rate like the US, then they probably would add that to our options. I just think we need, like, the US has 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches is the default size for the US. Sorry. It turns out, thank you for telling me that. It's the fan. It's the fan. Sorry. We're back inside. Sorry. I know it's a huge mug. I need a lot of coffee to get me going. Sorry. I should know. I love this mug. I don't know if I could get another one like it. I really love it, especially since it says, everyone have a sip. Have a sip. Love always wins. In the end, love always wins. Be patient in the meantime. Oh, include the coffee too. Oh, that would be a challenge. Shipping coffee. Double cream, 1 sugar. You ran out of cream? Oh no. You know what? I used to have creamer only for the longest time, and I actually kind of miss creamer, like the powdery stuff. I kind of miss it. I might go back to it. I'm gonna see if its fat content is less. It did. I don't know. I miss it. All right, I gotta sit up properly. My back is killing me. Feel free to share your shows and ask your questions. Hi, Anna. Yes, Whatnot does use Chit Chats as an option for shipping. For sellers, they can choose whether or not to do Canada Post or Chit Chats. Sometimes, depending on where you live, the prices can be different. Sometimes, if you live in a place that is off the beaten track, off of regular delivery routes, it's going to be more expensive for you to buy from a Chit Chat show than a Canada Post show, but you're not going to be able to see the difference. You're just going to see the price difference. But it just depends on where you live. If you live in a urban area, Chit Chats is a little bit less expensive than Canada Post. But it all depends. If you're a seller and you want to choose between Chit Chats and Canada Post, it's all about convenience. Anna asked, does it give Chit Chat option for US shipping? No. For all shipments from Canada to the US, they go by UPS, where the buyer pays the duty, taxes, and tariffs, as well as a minimum customs clearance fee to UPS. So before they can take possession of their package, they have to pay that. The cost for that to your buyer is anywhere from $10 to $29. $24 has been the average for me. Most US buyers are going to shy away. Until the US market gets used to buying from outside of the country and paying duties, taxes, and tariffs on a regular basis, it's just going to take a shift. In 1938, the de minimis exemption was created. It stayed around until August 29th of this year. So you're talking about 3 to 4 generations of Americans never had to pay any taxes, duties, and tariffs on items they brought in from other countries, as long as the cost of that package was under the de minimis exemption, which on August 28th was $800 US. So it's going to take some time for the US market to get used to this new reality. And then, as we Canadians know, that, we have to pay taxes, duties, and tariffs if we buy something from the States and it's above a certain amount. We know that we're probably going to have to pay it. We don't like it. We don't like paying an extra bill, but it's the cost of buying things from outside of our own country. But yeah, so yeah, we adapt to things. Americans will adapt too. I believe that Americans will adapt. Meg Hurst is right. We Canadians adapt to things. Americans will as well. So just give them time. Remember that it's 3 or 4 generations have never had to deal with this before. So it is a mind shift that is going to take some time. And also, whatnot is, so this happens so quickly that the industry hasn't been able to catch up. The shipping industry hasn't been able to catch up with these new rules. And one of the problems is that the American government, through USPS, is making it a requirement that international postal services collect taxes, duties, and tariffs on their behalf. So instead of it like here, a package comes up from the States, it gets to Canada Border Service Agency. Canada Border Service Agency creates a bill for taxes, duties, and tariffs, and then Canada Post collects that on behalf of Canadian Border Service Agency. In the States, the way that they're getting around the fact that they don't have enough staff to deal with this new rule, because it was supposed to come into effect in 2027, is that they're requiring that the international postal services like Canada Post collect those taxes, duties, and tariffs on the American government's behalf. And as far as I'm concerned, my tax dollars don't go towards collecting American tax dollars. And I take absolute affront to the American government forcing my government agency that I pay taxes into to collect taxes on your behalf. As far as I'm concerned, if we have to do that for you, then you do it for us. So, and on top of it, because this happened so quickly, Canada Post scrambled to figure out a solution and came up with a pretty, not the best solution, which is that you have to, in order to create a US bound label, you have to first go onto an app, a separate app from the Canada Post app. You have to go on a separate app and prepay for taxes, duties, and tariffs. That money will go to the American government, and then you can go to the Canada Post and say, here's I paid for the taxes, duties, and tariffs. Now give me a label. So it's two extra steps. Chit Chats is making it so that you have to prepay, because their whole system, their entire business was built upon taking advantage of the de minimis exemption, right? Their entire business was about that. And so now they have that part of their business is gone. They've had to rework things. They have to collect ahead of time taxes, duties, and tariffs. So they're requiring super extra steps in order for you to be able to get a label from them. Like, you need to have the absolute correct HTS codes, which are the customs codes on what the item is. They have to be exact. So you can't just say t-shirt. It has to be t-shirt cotton or t-shirt poly blend. There's so many different levels just for a t-shirt alone. That there's different numbers. So you can't just quickly create a label even on Chit Chats. Now, if you sell the same thing over and over again, it becomes easy. Engraver entries, yeah. Whatnot is UPS. If you're a Canadian seller, all shipments to the US will go by UPS, which is the brown trucks, not USPS, which we sometimes get mistaken. UPS and USPS sound too close to the other, but UPS, the brown trucks, it will go by the brown trucks to the States, and your buyer will pay taxes, duties, and tariffs, and a hefty UPS customs fee on top of that. So it is not cheap. And please note, if you're doing an international giveaway as a Canadian seller and someone wins an international giveaway that lives in the States, they're going to pay UPS fees as well, because there's no way that Whatnot is differentiating between a gift, as in a giveaway, and a purchase. So as far as UPS is concerned, that's a purchase. Yeah. So turn off international giveaways. Don't even give yourself the headache of bothering to package something up to send to the States, unless they've bought other things, obviously. But otherwise, and you could do a buyer's giveaway, but again, they're gonna get tariffed. They're going to get taxes, duties, and tariffs on that item, the value of that item, as Whatnot decides it's going to be, right? So if you give away jewelry, sometimes the value of the jewelry can be like $50. That can be hefty. Anna says, so it seems like just selling to Canadians is the best way to go. So on Whatnot is an international app. You cannot turn off international buying and say, I'm only going to sell within Canada. This ain't eBay. This is, or, you could sell on Poshmark, not that I think you should, but, on Poshmark, you can only sell Poshmark Canada. You can only sell to Canadians. On Whatnot, we're an international. So your US viewers who come into your show are going to see, you're going to see this box that's going to come up and tell them that this show is outside of the US, and therefore they're going to pay extra costs and extra tariffs. And if they hit join show, then there's also going to be a little bar at the top of their screen that's going to say something similar, warning them again that there's extra costs in there. So they get like a double warning, because Whatnot knows that people don't read shit. So there's a double warning that comes up. And so your US viewers who come into your show, welcome them like everybody else. And I put in my show notes when I'm selling, I usually put in my show notes a warning about US costs, as well as I have, and let me just, also I have in my auction tab, and it goes to the top of the screen on my auction, close to the top of the screen, I have this, that US buyers, please read this. So it's added into my auction tab as well. I don't talk about it constantly. God, that mole, it started bleeding. It's probably not a good sign, right? I don't like constantly say it throughout the show, like welcome in, and if you're from the States, just want to let you know you're going to have to pay extra money, blah, blah, blah. I think the box that warns them, and the little line that warns them, and my show notes that warns them, and then this auction tab thing that warns them, that should be more than enough. You got enough warnings. And so people will still buy from you. They're like, the Crazy Bead Lady still has US buyers who come in because they know the value of the things that they're buying, and the uniqueness of the things that they're buying is worth it. It's worth the extra money they're going to pay to UPS to get those items from the Crazy Bead Lady, because her statement brooches are to die for. And you're not going to find them anywhere else. So her American buyers keep coming back. You will find that there will be people. Trippy Gumby, what happened? What happened, Gumby? Good morning. Did you get some good meds? I hope it's good meds is the reason. So you will find that Americans will buy if they there are a huge cohort of Americans that will come back and start buying again. It's just going to take time. Vintage Buyback Kelly Irish says, I have to run, but after my awesome clear out sale, I have new inventory running this Sunday, 3:34 p.m. Pacific. Come for all of your vintage decor. That sounds awesome. All right. Let me scroll up and let me catch up, because I know I was talking a lot, and I was trying not to pay attention to the chat, because then I get squirrel and then I lose my train of thought. So I was trying to ignore it. Angie says, I hope they end silent sales soon. All so many are close to it being a dead airstream. Yes. If you've been doing silent shows, me I would just warn you that you need to start increasing the interaction that you have, and start transitioning yourself to a more active show, because Whatnot is very aware of the increase in silent shows, and will be cracking down fairly soon. I usually find that what happens is that it gets to kind of like a critical point where it builds, and then Whatnot's like, yeah, you know what? Too many people are taking advantage of this little loophole. We're going to close this loophole by updating community guidelines. So expect that that's going to happen in the not too distant future. I'd say between 2 and 3 months at the most, and there'll be a new community guideline talking specifically about silent shows and closing that gap. Okay, catching up. Sorry, I've got everyone's coffee order. Monica Robb says, with all these shipping problems, is it worth it to sell and Whatnot? I think most of us would say yes, it's still worth it to sell and Whatnot for sure. Monica Robb, yeah. As Megahertz says, definitely just double your weight for now to stay safe. You are going to have some shipping adjustments. It's kind of considered a cost of doing business. I mean, for me, I shouldn't be doing $2 starts on things. Your girl's got to stop doing that. That's my lesson that I kept saying over and over again as I like used another 2 feet of bubble wrap to wrap something up. So your girl is going to stop doing $2 starts. And someone hold me to account on that, because I've said that many times before and then done the opposite. So as Megahertz says, come join us. Monica Robb, we'll help you out the best we can. Megahertz has been on for years and I love it personally. So yeah, absolutely. You're going to start hopefully this week. Congratulations, Monica Robb. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, everybody follow Monica Robb 87810. The Crazy Beat Lady says 3 out of 4 of her US buyers were fine with what I offered to offset the border charges. One just didn't get it and I'm still dealing with it. Oh. Yeah, I guess that happens, but that's not bad. 3 out of 4. That makes it better, right? Forget Me Not Vintage says one of her giveaways was returned and she was billed for the giveaway. Yes. Yeah, it's Yard Yeller. If they don't pay, the package used to get returned, but I think with the new UPS guidelines that we all had to click and say yes to, that they're going and probably sending it to just like a warehouse for it to be, redistributed as unclaimed freight. I'm guessing that's what it is. And I will get this checked out, especially if it won't stop bleeding. I think in the middle of the night, I must like rub. I don't know if it's like I rub up against I know that Loki gives me kisses and he's got a really rough tongue and that tends to open up whatever is bleeding. So I need to I will get it checked out though, I promise. Thank you for all the hearts. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Megahertz. You're so sweet. And this should be on, I hopefully this is on YouTube later that you can rewatch if you really want to. Crazy Beat Lady says, I actually gave this woman a sterling silver choker worth over $100 on Amazon to offset her $55 border charges. Now she thinks UPS is a fraud. Oh, Linda, some people are never going to be happy no matter what you do. But to be honest, I wouldn't go over the top to try and offset somebody's costs. As far as I can't imagine an American seller doing the same thing for us if we got a charge. Like this is their government doing this to them. And I think that's the thing, is that would be my answer would be, I'm so sorry that the majority that your electoral college is set up the way it is, that you ended up getting someone that not the majority of voters voted for, but this is the consequence of that. Like, I'm not the one that eliminated the minimis exemption. We're just trying to do the best as we can around that, and the other changes that have happened every month or so. And I wouldn't be too apologetic. You're being very Canadian. I love you, Linda. You're so sweet. You will try and be helpful to everyone, but I think at the end of the day, those who get it will or see the value. I mean, you give great value for your items. That alone should be compensation enough. That's my opinion. You are already giving them value just in what you are selling them at the price you're selling it at. Good morning, Jude's Closet. Jerway, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh, there's a ton of people have come in. Good morning, good morning. Magnus by Marika says, yeah, we Canadians have been paying imports forever. We're used to it. What Liz Like says, remember, America is a capitalistic society. We pay for it when we want it. Don't feel bad for us. We will take any deal we can get. Set your price. Yeah, exactly. So, Linda, I wouldn't be like a coupon. You know, I'm so sorry that you didn't realize how much it was going to cost. Here's a little coupon. Here's a coupon, but not a $55 coupon. Like here's a $10 coupon off your next purchase. And if that doesn't satisfy them, sorry, that wasn't very professional. You know, be professional. Good morning, Dre's got cards. I did not just come on here to rant, Dre. No, we talk about a lot of things. We're talking right now about selling to the US and how we have to do the UPS. Yeah, this is a community chat show. This is not a sales show. And so we talk about all the different news and events that are happening. And right now we are talking about the US challenges that we Canadians have. But there's other shows to watch. Yeah, in community shows is the only channel, the only category where you do not need to have, you no longer, I don't know, Liz, if you know this, but you no longer need to have something in your buy it now. I ain't asking for a tip, Dre. You no longer need to have something in your buy it now even. I got that from Kenny's mouth. So as long as you are actually doing a community chat. Yeah. Good morning, Medical one-on-one. How are you? So, feel free to ask your questions and share your shows. I've covered Canada Post right now. I'll do it again. Hang on. The rotating strike is in the following locations today. So if you live in Cobourg, Ontario and London, Ontario area, those two areas of the country are the only ones that are on strike today. If you live in the Ontario region, outside of the Metro Toronto and Central regions, or if you live in the Quebec area, outside of Montreal, you will not receive any flyers, which I'm very happy about because I just end up throwing away flyers. $2 says, had your first trolls this week, spamming the worst of the worst. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That is horrible. Did you have a mod to throw them out? Because that always helps, but if not, you can always mute them for a bit or block them completely. There is a mute feature. Let me just double check it's still there. No more muting. Just block or remove from show. If you remove somebody from the show, you boot them from the show, they can still come back into the show and listen in and watch, but they cannot say anything and they cannot make any purchases. Yeah. So you can banned, blocked, and reported. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm sorry that you had that happen, though. It does happen from time to time. It is a rare occurrence, but it does happen. We've had young females that have been harassed sexually on Whatnot Canada. And we've had rude behavior. We've just had a lot. It is absolutely awful. And but The best thing you can do is kind of practice just by going in and practicing clicking on somebody's little profile button, their little icon. When you're in a live show, you click on that, and then you'll get a choice. And one of the choices is to remove from show, and the other one is to block. If you block them, they can't come back into your shows, any of your shows. If you remove them from the show, as a seller or a moderator, say it's not something that's like, it's just they're being disruptive, um and you've given them, like, usually what I do is I'll give 1, 2, 3 warnings, and then they're out, unless their behavior is racist, homophobic, transphobic, or like beyond beyond like sexual or sexist. I mean, general sexist behavior gets called out. Racism, sexual connotations over the top, and you got all of them at once. Oh my gosh, you got the full Monty. As well as homophobia and transphobia, that doesn't wash with me. I will address it in the chat, especially racism, homophobia, and transphobia. The sexual stuff, I will just like, 2 different people joined and just spammed. Not weird at all. You're going to find, especially when the holidays come around, when the holidays come around and kids are out of school, you're going to find like 10 to 13-year-old boy type humor and behavior come into shows. And or like when there's like, so like on a Monday when there might be or a Friday when there's like a PA day, you have people come in. Hi, Leah. You will find that kids with nothing better to do will create accounts, and they will, and some people say, well, turn on verified buyers and that will get rid of it. Verified buyers only stops people from bidding if they don't have a credit card on file. It doesn't stop them from getting into your chat and saying stuff. And it is your responsibility. It is part of community guidelines. It is your responsibility to keep the chat under control. So you can't say, oh, they were saying those things, I wasn't saying those things. If someone comes in and starts spewing racist stuff or sexual stuff or whatever that's not appropriate, you have to shut it down, or you have to ask your mods. If you have mods, ask, can you deal with that for me, please? Manic Mandy, if you want to, you can go into our Discord. There's our Discord, and you can send a message there if you want to do it on Discord instead, or you can send me a separate message, and I will try my best to help you there. Yeah, Megahertz says, at least there's a way on here that you can block them by only a few clicks. Easy and friendly, at least, unlike some other places. I recommend, if you can, have somebody, perfect Mandy, have somebody take a screenshot for you. If your mods can take a screenshot, so that if you need you don't want to stop your show to report them. And that was funny, Malachi. You don't want to stop your show to start typing in a report about somebody, but if you have a mod who's able to do that, gotcha, Malachi. If you have a mod who's able to do that, then that's great. But otherwise, if you know how to do a quick screenshot. I always mess up on this iPhone taking a screen. Just take a quick screenshot so you can report it later, because you want to make sure that just because you've blocked that person from ever coming into your shows again doesn't mean that they can't go and do that somewhere else. And let's face it, if they're trolling, they're on, and they're just going from one show to another until there's no fun in it. The best thing that you can do for most trolls is to ignore them and just block them or remove them from show. Yeah, they have nothing better to do, and they want a reaction. Now, do I sometimes play with trolls, as in I will challenge them on the show? Yes, but it depends. They hate bridges. Do your shows under bridges. They don't like. Turbo Tiger. Hey, how are you? I've never sold on Whatnot before, but I want to get started. What do I need to know about shipping items? I'm only familiar with eBay. Good question. Are you in the States, Canada, or somewhere else? Let me know. Canada. Awesome. Okay, so like Giant Tiger, but Turbo Tiger. Awesome. Thank you, Mandy. I will try to get to that later today. Um, so Turbo Tiger. So what do you need to know about shipping items? So in Canada, we have a choice between Canada Post, or we can select Chit Chats. So do your research on Chit Chats to see if that's an option that you can use, and then you select your preferred shipping provider of one of those two. Any US buyers that buy from a Canadian show, their packages automatically go by UPS. So you need to make sure that you have a UPS drop-off location that's near to you, convenient to you, or that you, if you go to UPS's website, you can contact them and find out if a pickup at your home, office, business would be possible, as an alternative to a drop-off. So that's the other thing you need to know. We have all Canadian sellers have 5 free shipping adjustments per week, which resets on Sundays. With those 5 free shipping adjustments, if your box size is bigger or your weights are heavier and it causes the box to be more expensive to ship than what your buyer paid for shipping, because your buyer will automatically pay when they make a purchase. I don't know if you've been on for a long time on Whatnot or a short time. When a buyer buys an item, they pay for shipping right then and there when they buy the item. And as they buy multiple items in a show, Whatnot will automatically add that item to their box so that it bundles all of their purchases in that one show together. Now, for me personally, I use the Whatnot's standard shipping profiles, and I just increase my weights to an amount, and I am going to be increasing my weights to double the amount that is the actual amount that is going to ship, because currently Whatnot size for their default size for boxes is only 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters. Now I had let's see, I had 13 boxes that I just did, and they were all big boxes or heavy boxes. Out of the 13, 8 needed a shipping adjustment, but I had my 5 free shipping adjustments, which means but one of them was only a 16-cent shipping adjustment, so Whatnot didn't charge me for that, so I only paid for 2 shipping adjustments. But there's lots of us to help you get through that and learn how to do the shipping. And if you sell similar things, like if you're selling cards or something, you can create your own custom shipping profile. Or if you do clothing, I've talked about this a few times about doing a clothing custom shipping profile that will basically give you a common size for all of your shipments, because that's possible when you're doing clothing and you've got poly bags that you put the clothing in, for example, or cards. You have like a box that you usually put the cards in, or comic books. Yes, I think that Whatnot is catering to the card category only. Turbo Tiger says, I only sell cards, so do I still need to buy boxes to ship? I usually just use bubble mailers when using eBay. Yes, as long as your cards are going to arrive in good condition. Most of the card sellers that I buy from use bubble mailers as well, so you'll be fine. They just put some cardboard in between, and ship it using bubble mailers. Yeah, when I say box size, I'm just meaning package size. So you should be fine because you're selling cards, so you'll be under the weight, under the size limits of 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters. Okay, catching up here. Hang on one second. Malachi's Madhouse says, shipping tip, always look through and make larger adjustments first. Yeah, go through, enter it all the numbers in, and then if you don't hit save changes, then you can go back and pick the heaviest ones. I don't bother to do that. So yeah, one of the shipping adjustments was the most expensive. So duh me, but it's all good. Highest was $45. Oh, oh my gosh, mega hurts. Shops with Tasha says, does that mean they cannot use coupon codes once they make a purchase if they didn't add it first? Correct. Yes. If so, the coupon is only good for one item at a time, and once it's used up, it's done. So if you did 10% off, it's just for that particular item that they applied it to. If they don't apply it to that purchase, they can't apply it retroactively. So they would just have to use that coupon code in the future. Angie asks, yeah, okay. So Angie asks, can you touch? I just wanted to make sure I read it first since it said boobs. Just in case. Can you touch quickly? Which, by the way, for anyone who's new to Whatnot, we put boobs in the chat if we want to hide the chat from the general audience so that I can see it and that you can't, because it's called red chat. You can't say boobs on Whatnot. So that's how you can't type it out without it getting red chatted. So can you touch quickly on how to find other Canadians, as many are so worried for selling to us may help some? Yeah. So I think the best thing you can do is, Angie's absolutely right, is find other Whatnot sellers that you can start following and learning from and watching what they do and connecting with them. Like for cards right now, there is Chaser Montreal is on right now. There, see those wings around their little logo? They're a premier shop. That means they sell over $30,000 a month. That's what that means. That means that in the last 3 months, they have sold $90,000 or more on Whatnot. So if you're looking for to find Whatnot sellers in Canada, all you need to do is go to the category part. You're going to pick, so let's say it's sports cards, all sports cards. Then what you're going to do is see at the top there's the filter button. We're going to click on that filter button. And we're going to go down the side here. It says shipped from. We're going to select that. And we're going to just say Canada. There are 848 shows scheduled in the sports card category. Now, compare that to the United States, where there are 55,866 sports card shows booked for the future. Holy cow. But Canada is 3 in the world on Whatnot. Ooh, we're in Belgium now. Austria, Netherlands, France, Germany, Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, and the USA. Okay, so we have 848 shows coming up in the sports card category. So then you can literally go in and start following people in your category and finding them that way. So Cowboy 72 is on right now. So wait, what? No, it took me back to the For You category. There we go. So all you need to do is check out that way, go category by category with the categories you're interested in. You will find Canadians of all sorts in your category. There are very few categories that don't have a Canadian that's booked at least a show. And also, if you go into our show notes, we have an unofficial Whatnot Canada Discord where you can introduce yourself, gain new followers, share your shows. That helps boost your show's algorithm, so you'll be found more in discoverability, or I should say, you'll get discovered more. It's called discoverability, but you'll get discovered more. So yeah, there are a lot of Canadians that you can learn from, and you can come and ask questions on our Discord. Malachi's Madhouse says 37-cent difference between bubble mailer and a small box. Yeah, super cheap. I wasn't sure because the cards I bought on Whatnot all came in. What Liz like says, just so you know, in the U.S. anyway, if it can be folded to place into a mailbox, it will get folded. I can imagine. Yeah, I remember in my mom's mailbox in Florida, everything got smooshed into there. Smooshed, just smooshed like crazy. We're a little bit gentler in Canada, just a little bit. But yeah, most card sellers that I've noticed in Canada tend to put things in those hard plastic doohickeys first. There's a word for them. Sleeves. The plastic sleeves, they put them in the hard plastic sleeves if it's a good card. And then they all of this Whatnot sports card sellers of all categories, any card seller that I've bought from, because I've just been curious, so I buy just to see what the experience is like. They use heavy cardboard in between, so, and then put it in a bubble mailer. Jude's Cloud says, I've been sharing my code on my social media. Can someone use the credit for a buy it now item or only for live sales? They can use it for either. They can buy out of your marketplace, and the credit is for the credit applies to any show, not just your show. So you want to push them to obviously buy from you and use that money from you, but they'll be able to go anywhere on Whatnot and buy. But the credit can be used in a buy it now item or a live show or a marketplace, so off your profile. But it will not apply to pickup. If it's local pickup, I don't think. No, sorry. You can't get the credit by making your first purchase with local pickup. You only get the credit when the first time you purchase using shipping. So because there are nefarious creatures who have purposely created fake accounts so that they can get the credits on both sides, and then they buy something for $1 and do local pickups so they don't have to pay for shipping, just so they can get the $15 credit. And it's really just the same people. Shop with Tasha says, I can't wait to do $30,000 a month. I know, right? Blindsy says that's all a goal we're working for. I'm not. I'm not. That sounds exhausting. I need staff. I need full-time like shipper, full-time pre-lister. I need both to do that. Like, I don't know how anybody does it on their own. I was thinking about the fact that the Hodgepodge place is a premier shop, and most of her shows are huge sales, breakable stuff, and she does have people who come and help her from time to time, but she's doing 90% of it by herself and still doing 90,000. Like, she's still a premier shop right now. Cray. Yeah. So scale up. You can't find the Discord link, Blindsy. It's at the top. It's because I understand. I do say a lot in my show notes, so it is hard to see it. It's the second Canada flag paragraph. So the first Canada flag paragraph is for people to sign up for the True North Strong Raid Train, which will happen next Monday if we get enough people. And then the next Canada flag one is it's bit.ly/Discord Canada, all one word, all lowercase. bit.ly Discord Canada. Rabbit. Also, if you have a show coming up, chat, yes, share it. Always share your shows. Feel free to share your shows. No Prime Canadians on here. Well, I mean, we got Stamp Pickers often comes in. Stamp Pickers has been busy because but he works for Canada Post and in his spare freaking time does $30,000. Ooh, the sun just went behind a cloud, so it's less bright in here. Malachi's Madhouse says, I always write, please do not bend, but it doesn't work. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just a challenge, like challenge accepted. Like fragile, breakable items inside is like challenge accepted to some shipment company workers. Just saying. Um okay, catching up. Oh, there you go. Magnus by Marika says, shout out to Shop with Danny for hosting a fun live show on Halloween. Yay! Woohoo! Um, Jude's Closet says, so if they use their credit in someone else's show, do I still get the $5 credit to me? Yeah, as soon when they make their first, it's so they get the credit after they make their first purchase, and then you, as soon as they make their first purchase, you get a $5 credit. So yeah, manifest. Yeah. So yes, is you no matter who they buy from, you still get the $5 credit. Angie says, by the time I get there, Ethan will be old enough to do lots to help. Yes, absolutely. Go, Ethan. Malachi's Madhouse asks, can we sell anything in that raid train? Yes. The True North Strong raid train is for any Canadian seller in any category. And in fact, if you're not ready to sell yet and you just want to do an introductory show and just introduce yourself and take us on a tour of, like, if you're a handmade person, do a demonstration or teach us about something that you collect. Like if you're a sports card seller, you're not really ready to sell yet, then just put your category as community and then teach us about sports cards. I'm like, or whatever it is that you are going to be selling. Teach us about it. Teach us about why you love it. Is he single? Crazy Bee Lady says, I have a show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. liquidating a sterling silver before I get it melted down. Ooh, Dave from Alberta just left. My goodness. He should know about that. Make sure Dave's in the room. Angie says, I'm working on a show. Hope the kids stay healthy. Knock on wood. And I can get one listed. Magnets by Marika says, my time slot is 1 p.m. Eastern for the raid train on November 10th. Everyone check out Magnets by Marika. It's going to be on the True North Strong raid train. Angie asks, where is everyone from so we can follow each other? I do have a lot of messages to catch up on. I always do. And then there's all the direct messages that I have to catch up on. Malachi's Madhouse says, I always think of the scene from Ace Ventura of him delivering the package. Well, alrighty then. Yes, absolutely. Okay. I'll start. I'm Cam and I'm the Red Rooster, and I sell a little bit of everything, mostly in the estate sales category. And I am in Hastings, Ontario, in Canada. Jude's Closet says, I'm trying to go live every night. Make up for stocking stuffers tonight. Ooh, I'm going to have to pop in. I need to start buying all the stocking stuffers for the kids. I'm already exhausted thinking about it. I'm exhausted thinking about Christmas, and we're not even close. Yes, thank you, Megahertz. There you go. Poor Dave. It's like, I'm trying to teach here. I'm trying to teach young minds. Okay, so last call to share your shows or ask any questions. Oh, yay, mascara. Yay, Jude. Okay. Is it preloaded or are you doing random pulls? Because it's preloaded. I'll shop while I rest today. East Ender Resale says, hi, I'm Sandra from Southern New Brunswick. I sell ladies wear and jewelry with some great brands and prices. She does. Her stuff's amazing. Canadian Cards. Hello, says I spell. I sell sports cards, football and hockey. The card community is a great place. It is. The card community is amazing on here. Angie's this and that says, I'm Angie from Listowel, Ontario, and I sell this, that, and I've got a pallet of clothing to get selling. Lots. That's awesome. All right. Jude, random pulls. All right. I'm going to have to bookmark. I'm going to do it now. Hang on, everyone. Got to bookmark Jude's show. Shows. There she is. Jude's finds. And makeup and skincare. 11 p.m. Oh my God, Jude, I'll be dead asleep. I'll just make a list and then you can create a bundle for me and I'll buy it. I'm asleep by then. I am not a night owl. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do all that you do. I love you so much. Shop with Tasha says children's books show tonight at 7:43 p.m. Eastern. Megahertz says never from first of this month is Christmas, and so I watch a Christmas movie. Every day you watch a Christmas movie. Or my favorite is A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out. You shoot your eye out. Absolute flipping deals. December 15th, thanks to Kim, selling a little bit of everything. Yay! Am I coming to help you? Or are you going to Tasha's? Or what are you doing? Do you need help? Shauna's Treasures and Art says, hey, all Canadian gal here that sells vintage decor out of my she shed. I would love follows and bookmarks. Something for everybody. Angie says, I was just told there is only 34 school days left till the Christmas holidays for the kids. Oh, so I'm tired. I'm tired thinking of that. Christmas is just full of work, and I have to get this house ready. Yeah. I'm gonna be just doing chat shows because I'm gonna have no time to do any selling and shipping because I gotta get this house ready for Christmas. Ugh, don't understand. I have to like empty this house of stuff is what I need to do somehow magically. Shop with Tasha says, I'm from Oshawa, Ontario, sell jewelry, books, vintage goods, and more. Magnus My Marika's in Ontario. I'm selling unique fridge magnets and vintage giftware for sale. Doing a show today. Hope to see everybody. Dallas Mag is from Alberta, and I really wish more Canadian sellers wanted to sell me Jurassic Park collectibles. Ooh, Donna, do you have any Jurassic Park collectibles? You probably do. Oh, we're all coming to help. Home Alone is one of your faves. Oh, I just felt like that was like the worst possible family that their child that they forgot that they didn't notice that their child was missing. I mean, how many children? Like, I know that there was a huge family, but how do you not notice that the child who's always gets up to the most chaos is twice, right? Like I saw that movie and I was like, how horrible a parent do you have to be? You have a Kevin. How horrible of a parent do you have to be in order to lose your child like that? I just, yeah, I was never a fan of it, I have to admit. I think that the movie with Bruce Willis, what the fork is it called right now? My brain is farted out. But the Bruce Willis movies, they're the best Christmas movies. Now, important question for you, Ray. Die Hard. Thank you. That's it. Die Hard. You already said it long before I finally read it. PJP says I have to find and buy a house before December 2nd. Does that make me feel any better? It does, because then you have to move into it. Holy cow. I'm sorry that's happening, PJP. I hope you find something soon. If you need a good real estate agent in the Greater Toronto area, I can hook you up with my favorite real estate agent. You have a new grandbaby due December 20th. Yay, congratulations, Angie. Oh my goodness. Have a great day, East End Resales. Love you. Melinda's you lost yours at the CNE. That's a little bit different. What Liz Like says, I got left behind at a rest stop in a desert in Arizona. Oh my, that would have been so scary. That would have been so scary. Hi, Gabriel Peace. How are you? Your youngest brother got lost at Canada's Wonderland, PJP. Oh my goodness. Duh. Yeah. There's a lot. It's probably easy to get lost there. Is your name Joe Dirt? What Liz Like says, I was 9. I had to chase down the car. I was crying and screaming. They got a ways away before they noticed. That would have been so scary. So scary, Liz. Oh my goodness. I want to hug your 9-year-old self. Oh, awesome. I'm sure you'll find a place. It's just hard, right? Because it's so expensive. Everywhere it's so expensive, but hopefully you'll find something. Just remember that if you don't like the color of the walls, you can paint them. But if the walls are falling apart, you have to rebuild them. But if it's just the color or it's really ugly, there's really ugly wallpaper or something, you can deal with that. But if the walls are falling apart, it's a little bit harder. So just look at the bones and don't worry about the makeup. What Liz like says, there were 7 kids, so it's easy to forget one. I guess. I don't know. I would be, if it was me, I would be like doing like the count, like everybody, like get all the kids. Every kid has got a number, and they have to count off before you start driving. That would be my thing. That would have definitely been my thing if I had that. I mean, we did that when it was just adults and 3 kids. I would make everybody count off. um that's how Snow White did it. 1, 2, 3. It's just like, okay, is everybody in? Did we get everybody? Are all the seats filled? Oh my gosh! And you must have had like a huge, like, what would have held enough then? 2 adults and 7 kids. Did you just drive a minibus around? 7 is a lot. I had um one of the people that I worked with in politics, who also they volunteered on my political campaigns. They were 7 kids, and they have a big, like the van school buses is what they use. Now all the kids, I can't believe Joel's the youngest, and he was 8 in 2008. So he's like 25 now. So they no longer need the same vehicle they did. But remember, they would pull up in the little minibus, a big VW Venagan, and one kid stayed on the lap. Back in the day, before you needed to have seatbelts too. I remember getting into. I remember we got an older car. My favorite car, Bunty, is what I called it, because its license plate was BNT 245. Yep, BNT 245. Anyways, Bunty didn't have seatbelts in the back seats, and I just loved the fact that I didn't get strangled by the seatbelt around my waist. Strangled around the waist is what I used to call it. I know it's not the same. National Lampoon's Woody Wagon is your dream car. Monica Robb is the second of 7. I'm the first of the first. The first of one. I'm an only child, so I'm the first. Always, forever. I'm number 1. But I got blamed for everything. I used to try and blame things on the cat and say the cat did it. Yes, I have sisters and brothers on here. Exactly. Yeah. I've got lots of siblings on Whatnot. I got more than enough family on Whatnot. You're the only girl in 3. My grandfather, my father's father, came from 9. My mother's father came from 8, 7 or 8. And yeah, and my father was an only child. Anna had a question. Okay, hang on. Anna, sorry. Do you find people did Christmas shop on Whatnot? Will sales generally go up? Yes, they can absolutely go up. Thank you for pointing out that Anna had the question. Yes, and in fact, my suggestion would be that tomorrow morning, my morning show is going to be a very intensive um, workshop discussing how to increase your holiday sales on Whatnot, what tactics to use, what features to use on Whatnot, the psychology of buying during this holiday season, what keywords to use, even what colors to use. We're going to be talking about the market in China and the live selling market in China, and how there's ways that the Chinese market has because it's like 600 or 700 billion dollars a year goes to live selling sales. Live selling is the only way people buy really in China now. Like that's what their go-to is. You go shopping and you watch shows. Um, it is it is a national obsession. So there's so much to learn from them. And one of their biggest sales days is actually 11/11 coming up, which is Singles Day. And that's like the biggest sales time for them. There's a lot of gift giving that happens on Singles Day, and there's all kinds of things that they do to increase sales that we're also going to be talking about. So it's probably going to be a couple hours. And then I will, if it doesn't go onto YouTube automatically, I will be putting it on YouTube with edits. Um, but that is going to be tomorrow. So if you get a chance, if you're able to come back tomorrow, or you can wait until it's up on YouTube, um, on my YouTube channel, which is in my show notes as well as in my profile, you'll be able to see that. But yes, people do shop on Whatnot for Christmas. Um, and so this is the time of year now to switch to holiday selling. And I will explain how to do that, what to do, how to do it, all the tactics. We're going to be talking about all of that. So that's going to be tomorrow morning. Um, so I hope you bookmark that show. I don't know how many bookmarks I have on that, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I usually I do at least one, if not two, topic chat shows every month. Last month there's a three. If you go onto my YouTube, there is a 3-part on attracting new buyers on Whatnot. 3-part, 3-part, because it went for I had 7 pages to go through of notes. Hopefully I will have less than 7 pages for tomorrow, but no guarantee, because once I start researching, I can't stop. So it's broken up into 3 parts. So it's an hour long each. Most people have just watched the first hour and haven't gone on to the second hour. I don't know what that means, but if you go and you can watch it. AI live selling in China is mind blowing. Yeah, I hope we don't get to AI live selling. Although I guess that would be easier, wouldn't it? I mean, how do they hold up the product? How do they hold up the Blue Mountain pottery? That's what I want to know. Do they like scan the item and then like I know they're selling new stuff for the most part, not used stuff. Once Whatnot is actually also in the Canadian community, um um sorry. Once Whatnot is actually also in selling in China, is in the Chinese community, us Canadians are going to benefit from that, because there is a huge market already on like eBay that buys through brokers, buys from China, like all the vintage antiques, collectibles, all that kind of stuff. They're buying it because they can't get that stuff easily. So all that stuff like Blue Mountain pottery and that, we can have a whole Chinese market open up to us. I'm all about that. I can't wait for that. Shauna Sturgeon says, I was getting them in the mood last night with a Christmas show. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Now, I mean, in my family, we always had a rule that nothing Christmas happened, even writing Christmas cards ahead of time. Nothing Christmas happened until um, November 12th. And then all Christmas threw up on our house. But we had to wait until November 12th because November 11th is Remembrance Day. And between Halloween and November 11th was all about focusing on remembrance. It's just a thing in my family. It's probably very outdated, but it's still in my head. So if I do any selling shows between now and Christmas, if I get my house in order, then I'll be able to, and I won't be doing personally, I just won't do any Christmas ones until after November 12th, but don't do what I do. If you can do Christmas shows now, start doing Christmas theme shows, start switching now, start planning now. Yard Yeller says the AI bot has about 8,000 gestures, and they also preloaded images of their products. AI does everything else. I wonder, like, could you imagine AI doing a card break?
AI opening up packs of Pokemon cards and then screaming, "Let's go, chat, let's go." You're just trying to imagine it. Yeah, I don't know how that wouldn't work, right? Because so you'd still have to do that kind of stuff live without AI. You can't open up card packs with AI. I mean, I guess the AI could do this. I'm overthinking it. Shut up, Kim. Shop with Danny says, I'm the same. We always decorate after November 11th. Yeah. Donna says, should be in everybody's head, lest we forget. Absolutely. I think this year it hits heavier with me because we are watching the history of 1930s Germany repeating. There's too many parallels that are scary for me. That just like, I just feel like this Remembrance Day is hitting me harder. It really is, to be honest. Malachi says, Chat GPT is my new best friend. We chat every day. What I find the most annoying about Chat GPT is when it's wrong. It's often wrong. And so anything that it says, you have to double check. Like, you have to be like, I found that I have to say, can you please read what you just said and verify verify that that's correct? And then it'll go, no, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. I was wrong there. It drives me nuts. Shauna says, no to AI for me. I don't even talk to Siri or Google. Well, I mean, Alexa, I don't know if Alexa's changed. Alexa, can you tell me if Hitler was a racist? Yep, she won't answer. Isn't that a simple question? Like, is there any doubt whether Hitler was a racist or not? Like, Alexa, is there anyone in history who's been a racist? No. No response? See? No response. No response. So, don't trust you yell at it a lot. I also tell it to stop asking somebody. Megahertz says, I've never used ChatGPT and didn't even know about it till last year. It's fairly new, though. It is fairly new, right? It is a fairly new thing, and it's improving every day, but it's still, any computer program, which AI is a computer program. Any computer program is only as good as the programmer. So garbage in, garbage out. So the key to anything is to make sure that there isn't garbage being put in. Shop with Danny says, I use Copilot and it's free. You can ask it questions all day. And Madhouse is a computer program. Yeah, be very specific. Malachi is now talking in binary for anybody who's watching on YouTube. Malachi is now speaking in binary to us, which is on, off, on, off, 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 on, off, 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 on, off, 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 on. That did get blurred. You slipped. I know, Malachi, you slipped and spoke wrong. I find that funny that binary is just turn on, turn off. Basically, it's just a switch. It's just a switch. My father got recruited out of high school for IBM in 1955. He was one of like the pioneers, and he actually yum food. All right, last call for questions and shows. Where I'm not gonna find someone to raid to. I'm just gonna start typing in raid if I can get out of this screen. There we go. So while I'm typing this, don't hesitate to actually ask a question. It takes me a while to actually do anything. So let's see who we've got here. First suggested. Okay, we have, I think I've gone in there. So we're going to go into looks like a newer seller. Select. Surprise sets. So hopefully on the road to 1K sales. They've got 2 people in. They're doing what do you call it? Pokemon. So we might as well. have a great day too, Angie. I love you. Oh, Kath and Goodies. I've never been there for. Oh, sorry. I pressed too soon. I didn't look to see. I apologize. Next time. Remind me next time. All right, we're gonna go to this Renzi. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not a dead stream. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the Increase Your Holiday Sales show. It's gonna be intensive, so bring a pen and paper to write down any thoughts that you have. And yeah, love you guys so much. Have a great